Wow.
Basic.
Always gets me.
Oh shit! I never tweeted this out.
Don't worry, I did.
Okay. We got the two real ones in the audience right now.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's been a long ass time for me, and it's been a little less long for everyone else here. But we're back. We're back, and we ain't going nowhere for a while.
I mean, until next week, we're like, hey, what are you guys up to? Oh, World War III, cool.
Barring
Oh yes,
nuclear explosives.
Stream elements in the chat. What up? Just kidding.
Oh shit, stream elements.
It's good to see all of you. Danny, G, Robo, Ree. Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? Congrats on your wedding.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
What a beautiful event that was.
I was gonna make like I forgot about a joke about like, wait, where have you been? And that's good. We can skip all that. How was the wedding?
I think Panic at the Disco said it better.
Say what?
Go ahead, Judah. Go ahead. I was gonna make a dumb joke.
We're writing thank you cards tomorrow, and we have to get it done before we can go see Batman. So we're gonna start that really early because I want to go hit up a Batman matinee.
Nice.
So,
matinee. What time is that?
Exactly. I bought a pack of thank you cards when we got married, and I sent one because there was only one person that I knew would give a shit.
It's 2022. Why can't we just text? You know,
dude, that's what I gave everyone. Like, I personally messaged everyone who gave us a gift and said, like, thank you very much for that. But yeah, like, I'm not gonna. No.
Make a thank you TikTok. That's it.
Robo gave me a cast iron pan, and I thanked him immediately over text. And then I've been thanking him repeatedly since every time I use it. But
you need to cook something for him.
But I'm still being told that a card must be sent. So it's out of my hands.
Just tell Sammy. Tell this. Like, listen.
It's out of my hands.
George told me as soon as it gets to the house, it's going like there's two piles. Everybody has the two piles. Everybody has it. It's gonna be my bills and the shit I'm throwing away. I will take a couple seconds to go, aw, nice.
Dude, I actually had like
we'll see.
So, at this point, so many of my bills are like electronic because that's so convenient, right? But then I had to go get a new driver's license because I live in a new state now. And I'm like, I had to wait like 2 weeks because I didn't have any mail.
Did you like suddenly feel like you don't really need cheese anymore? Like as soon as you move?
That's actually been one of the biggest disappointments is like the cheese selection at grocery stores. I have yet to find a place that has
on Kraft singles now.
No, I never. That's not cheese.
Never.
Do you burn it and prove it's not cheese?
There's like a store here all over. There's little stores called Quality Dairy, and I need to go there because I can't find Gouda like anywhere. It's just whatever. Restaurants know about Wisconsin cheese.
I heard it could be male cheese.
We may not have been talking about that.
From Italy.
Right?
Gee, you need to find like a cheese subscription service.
I can actually the cheese store that I used to live near will send you cheese if you order on their website. So like I might need to do that.
Give them a quick plug.
What would you call a service like that? Like
Eau Claire Cheese and Deli will send you cheese. They will also put little chocolates in for you.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Judah.
With what?
No one heard it. Just
you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it.
No one heard it. It's fresh.
What would they call a service like that? Would they call it fromage postage?
I need my button. Where's my? Here, I can give you that one.
It comes with some of that fresh Wisconsin dairy air.
I keep forgetting I need a shorter one. It's a little long.
Last time I was on stream with Judah, I think somebody was cutting cheese.
Hey,
no, those are just koalas.
We all know that was Ree.
It's true. I was there.
Ree, are you just here so you won't get fined?
What was that?
Are you just here? You won't get this because you're not American, but are you just here because to not get fined or what?
To not get fined.
It's a sports meme thing where the guy just goes up there and he goes every question because he's pissed off at the journalist. Every question is, "I'm just here so I won't get fined," and he just keeps answering like that. Everybody gets it, and everybody laughed all at once.
I'm
So-
struggling with my internet today because of floods, I assume.
Oh,
Really?
that's right.
How is that
Shit.
going on? Tell us.
Well, I got flooded into my place, and so did most Brisbaneites, and I think like the entire East Coast. And
New York?
maybe. Sorry.
I'm just kidding. I said New York. No.
Yeah,
only
New
one
York.
East Coast. That's us.
The
so.
only East Coast that exists. That's right.
The only East Coast. Yeah.
We had literal bull sharks in golf courses and on streets. It was nuts.
Wow.
Damn, Sharknado for real. I feel bad for the
Sharknado
sharks.
for
I'm not-
real.
Stay inside.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
It was just so it wasn't like a hurricane or anything. It was just rain. That much rain.
They called it a rain bomb.
Wow.
Jesus fucking.
Wow. That's a band name.
Like whatever you
Yeah.
guys did to Storm, you should say sorry.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
how many
Also-
gay people are in Brisbane?
How many gay people?
Yeah, I mean that's what God
Where
does.
Where I live, I live, it's literally
to-
everybody.
To incite God's wrath. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? How many-
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Well,
I'm pretty sure
I'm
the
over
entire.
for two. I'm gonna stop with the
Wait,
jokes tonight.
Maybe God's angry. There's not enough.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
There's not enough.
Um,
that's it. That's it.
I don't know. Where
so-
I live, it's pretty fucking gay. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of gay people where I live.
But you said
So
you
maybe that's
live
not-
in the Texas. You live in the Texas of Australia. You said that.
Yeah. So Brisbane, the city is pretty like progressive and gay, but
Oh, that's
then
not the
everything
Texas
around it
stuff.
is the opposite.
sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds like everywhere in the United States. And
Yeah, that's like every
around
city
every
is
city,
surrounded
yeah.
by rural towns.
Washington
It's like
State.
city-
Yeah.
It's like cities are
That's the
normal
one.
and
Yeah.
the country's weird.
Like,
That's how it's always
yeah.
been.
if you drive around in a city, it's all like Biden grudgingly signs, and then you
Right.
leave, and it all becomes Trump signs every quarter mile.
That's,
And then there's one of those shitty churches.
that's such a good slogan. Begrudgingly Biden.
That's the sticker on Biden, I guess.
That's the part I really want to like. Every time I see one of those stupid fucking "Let's Go Brandon" things, which,
Yeah.
by the way, like are very popular
funny
in
anymore.
Wisconsin for some reason. I think it's because we're too polite to ever say fuck.
Fair.
But yeah, I just really like. I want to follow you and be like, "Do you know that we hate him more than you?"
Yeah,
Like,
probably more. Probably more. Actually, though, we're not doing politics, but I feel like I need to share this with y'all.
I was zoning out. I was going on Twitter.
I'm sorry, we're not doing politics.
You're waiting for me to zoom in?
In 2024, a crazy thing happened, and Biden were running against Putin for president of the United States.
Putin.
Who would you vote for?
I would vote for Putin.
Oh my god.
Wow.
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 America, except most of the time.
Yeah, except when it doesn't go my way. Then it's
Yeah.
Putin.
It's Russia. Russia.
All right.
How does a redneck say Russia? Russia.
Russia. Russia?
Russia. Yeah.
Damn,
The
commie.
USSR.
Except right now, because, they're the good guys. Oh, shit.
So,
all right.
before we're going to talk about some comics, but Ree's been going through a lot, with the storm and stuff. So I feel obligated to kind of set the record straight about something.
Uh-oh.
Okay. It was me who farted the last time I was on the stream.
It
was.
What?
I fucking knew it.
That is.
I
brand
blamed
new
it on Ree
information.
publicly, and that was wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was scared.
You
I'm
should have
shocked.
texted. You should have texted me that. I would have had the sad music playing, and it would have just been.
Fuck it.
And without a hitch.
You can always re-edit it in post and send a little short.
Yeah,
we'll fix it in post.
because I always remember to cut this up and repost. So, yep.
But when you do, they're great.
Yep. The boots. Oh, Fox, welcome. Dakota
Oh,
Four.
hell yeah.
Nice.
What's up, Dakota? Good
I
to
love
see
you all. Yeah. The game.
What's up, the Fox Dog? What's up, G Money, who's also here?
Hi.
What's up, Stream Elements? Woo! I already made that joke, but I'm making it.
But it was
again.
before. It was before we went live. Didn't count.
That's right.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
Sweet.
it only counts if you do it live.
I still don't
that's
get
right.
it.
I'm not. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I do want to say that I kind of almost regret bringing G and Danny up here as permanent guests.
Oh boy.
Because now half our audience is gone.
But don't say it. Don't.
You knew.
Don't say it.
Hey, I still have the stream playing.
Hey, if we had
let me give it a like.
Yeah,
we could have done more tweeting. We could have done more tweeting and posting in advance, and we'd probably be up to like 9. So it's not a comment on us. It's a comment on us.
IDK, maybe it's like an incentive. Like if I just hang out and chat, they'll let me come talk with them. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go with that.
Wait. Hello, Ray. Testes. Uh-oh. Well, it says you're muted, though.
Oh, yeah, that would...
Okay.
Content. Awesome.
All right.
So...
Oh, wait.
Sorry. I think like some things I'm saying are like not coming through, I'm pretty sure. In what when we were talking just before, I was saying things that I don't think were being heard. So I might just hang in there.
No, we were just ignoring you.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God. Does she not hear me talking right now? I'm trying to talk over her.
So I might, I'm going to chat.
I prefer
if you missed it, I took the heat for your fart, or for my fart.
Look at you still are trying to pass away.
Did you, before you go, let's test out your mic thing. Did you buy any comics this week?
Did I buy any?
Mm-hmm. Are you reading anything new?
I literally only bought Saga and I haven't read it, so I'm a failure of a comics fan this week.
Join the club.
I'm gonna try not to get the spoil dog
because I know you guys are gonna talk about it.
What, Saga?
Otherwise, I would put it off because, like,
it reads better as a trade. I agree.
Same. I read it as a trade. I only read the comeback because it was the comeback, but now I'm back to waiting.
You know, I found that most of the comics that I'm loving these days, like I'm reading them month to month because I can't wait and I have no self-control. But most of the ones that I'm enjoying the most, like Nice House on the Lake and Saga and Noctera and Geiger and like all these books, like they all would read better as a trade.
I think I've been reading some older, like as you guys know, I've been doing the New Mutants omnibus, and like that's older. I don't want to say that's old, but they're older. And like I've noticed that comics kind of have done the same thing TV has done, where like it's meant to be binged, not week to week. Because like New Mutants does this thing, like half of the comic is recapping what happened in the last one, because they're assuming you might just read one.
Right.
Comics today do not make that assumption.
Do you ever get annoyed by that?
No. Oh,
question for the panel
retro
about
comics,
that.
yes.
So question for the panel about that, because I think you bring up a really good point. I agree. The question I have is, do you think it would be better if the industry as a whole shifted to a thick book based model and only released like trades or graphic novels and kind of phased out the month to month periodicals?
Technical difficulties. Ree will be in the chat. Ree will sadly only be in the chat. Part because there's a
any Ree is good Ree.
Yeah.
For the flood.
Okay, per Judah's question,
Yes.
I would be so sad if floppies stopped being a thing. But on the other hand, environmentally, that would be a really good move.
Do you think your sadness would come from a place of nostalgia of having the cool floppies and like getting the variants and just hold it like?
Yep.
Do you think it's a practically based or just kind of a nostalgia based?
Entirely emotional and nostalgic. Practically switching to trades would be much better.
So
like I'm thinking like every 3 or 4 months a trade comes out.
The worst part of that move was moving short boxes.
Yeah, my movers were so pissed.
Yeah, like they're heavy, they're stupid. Why do I have so many?
Yeah. I hate all of these boxes. No, I don't. I love
I'm going to go through them and get rid of like a bunch of the arcs that I don't care about. Because like, why am I dragging this around? After I've moved, I'm going to do this.
I hope that is what you do on the very first visit to your library. You show up,
Mhm.
you're like, hey, I got my bill. I love you all. I also have thousands of comics to give you.
Right. I actually have a small stack by my door. I noticed as I unpacked, I had a bunch of doubles of books. So yeah, I'm gonna show up to get my library card with like, I also have donations. Get used to it.
Yeah. I do that. I don't do that. Well, and actually, I do that with comics. I do that mainly with food. I do that. I have like 8
Agreed.
bottles of like of ginger in my thing because every time a recipe calls for it, clearly I don't have it.
I'm not sure, so I should buy more.
Yeah.
Yep. I have like triplicate of everything to make pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
I never check.
Single issues trades. So let me say this. I think that some of the series that have been coming out, who's been doing the weekly? I think like HBO's been doing weekly on their shows.
Yep. Amazon does too.
Paramount Plus does weekly.
Yeah.
And so I'll tell you, I would love to just binge. I am very, very happy that I caught Succession on season 3, so I could just sit and binge. But there is a certain level of like excitement and like good level of anxiety. Like I cannot wait to. Is it tomorrow? It's coming out tomorrow, and then you're at work. You're like, I can't wait to get home. And all
then you text about it, and yeah.
And I think it's the same thing for comics. Like you guys know me, I'm not like super on top of reading my comics like I should. But sometimes you do get a series where I'm like, all right, I got to see what happens next week. And if I just had it all at once, well, if you're you three, you're just gonna eat it all in like a day and a half, maybe if that. And then whoop, there's the story. And if you're me, and it's like something like Saga, you never read it because it's too much and your brain shuts off.
I have like a fantasy of a future world where every 6 months, like a 6-issue trade of a title drops. And I think about it, and it's not a terrible idea. I see myself still enjoying that because they can still stagger the titles where shit's coming out every month. And I don't know. I think maybe it might be nice to like get a big chunk of story. And it also might be a really good way to streamline things because you could have certain thick books could include like various titles. You know what I mean? Like they would change the whole format. They wouldn't necessarily have to have the crossovers of like number 13 is part 2, number 21 is part 3. You know what I mean? So that could be cool to kind of like streamline some of the stories. And I think it might make comics more accessible. But I'm also with the 4 of you. Like it's fun sometimes to really like be stoked for like the next little snippet of story. And floppies are just cool to have. And there's no way to talk me out of that.
Did you guys see this week they had Dark Knights released the first 3 in like extra large?
The Gathering Storm, right?
Yeah, like that's kind of I think like a happy medium. Like maybe once a month do like a half size. You know, like it's not quite a trade. It's bigger than a floppy.
I got an idea. But real quick, more people. All the gang is coming in. Michael Malone, my dial of beer has arrived. If the UK has an Uber Eats for alcohol, that's pretty fucking awesome.
You can order alcohol on Instacart.
Can you?
Dude, if something like
but
that came
you have to answer the door with your ID.
It depends where you live.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I bet Georgia doesn't have that. Georgia still only sells alcohol.
No, it seems like Georgia would have that though.
No, those are the kind of people like we don't sell on Sundays after 10 o'clock.
I mean, we don't.
Well, that's because Jesus don't want to see you getting snookered on God's day.
M3 Riders with us. Check this out. Fun fact. I said something about Georgia. M3 Riders says, "Yep, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I live in Georgia." And then it was like I said, "What city I live in? Savannah." And then he's like, "I fucking live in Savannah." And then there's like little suburbs and shit around like main cities. He goes, I live in and insert in fucking in suburb where like literally is in the same suburb. So that's really weird. So
he's your next door neighbor.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm in your house. Like your wife is my wife. It's crazy. So and speaking of wives, Maneater. Hello, how are you, love?
Hello.
And then
I had an
Oh.
IFLC IRL encounter a couple weeks ago.
No, you didn't.
I did.
And Legault land.
Yeah, shout out to Lego, who's I think also in Georgia.
Georgia is evil. I didn't want to forget. You met somebody who knew IFLC in real life?
No, someone that we know. Aramis came to my wedding, and I'm not. I promised that I would not share the video, so I will not, and I'm holding to that. But he didn't make me promise not to talk about it, and he definitely danced. He definitely danced with the Ant-Man mask, and it was pretty awesome. It was
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna message him and I'm gonna ask if
it was magical.
It was magical. He showed you. He told me not to show anybody.
No, he said like, "Did you see it?" And I was like, "No, but I would."
No,
love
you
to."
even said he said I can only show the mods. I thought.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That's what you told me. I wasn't there.
Ask him if we can stream it because it's pretty epic.
That was like unintentionally
no.
a ridiculously good Scott Lang cosplay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's what he would wear.
Right? Like if you told me that was Paul Rudd, I'd be like, okay.
Can we watch your dance video on stream?
Also, why are you not in chat, Aramis?
Yeah.
And he also came to the after party at Madam's Oregon in Adams,
Oregon.
So the area is called Adams Morgan, and there's a bar there called Madam's Oregon.
Yeah, and then it's like, it's like dueling piano, except it's dueling organs.
Well, there's a 2 floors. The bottom floor is like kind of like a blues bar. Like there was like a band on the stage and like a bunch of people. It was packed. And then the upper floor is a karaoke place. Guess where I hung out? But it was a great after. It was a killer after party.
In the hip hop part.
Yeah, it's a good time.
My idea, real quick. I'm sorry, before I forget. ADD brain. We're just gonna jump back and forth all over the place, and then we'll get to comic books. TV, cinema, right? If everything was a movie and everything was a trilogy, and you always had to wait 1.5 years for something, that would fucking suck. That would suck. But movies are awesome. Hi. Oh. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Movies are awesome. I agree.
Movies are awesome, right? So no one ever wants to get rid of movies. But if it were only movies, right? Weeklies. If everything was a weekly show, like a syndicate, show, that would be cool. Miniseries. How awesome would it be? Especially, honestly, for the big two, because the other indies do this anyway all the time. Especially for the big two. I'm not talking collected trades. I'm talking weekly issues, and maybe 2-3 times a year, there's a thick boy. Well,
they sort of do that with the Prestige,
but that's what I'm talking about. I don't want collected. I want a thick boy that's
an original thick boy.
They do this. They have every once in a while, like the last couple of weeks. Supermassive, the big event from the Massive Verse is what they call it. It was like a square bound thick boy is how it was released. That whole event.
I said the big two.
Oh, the big two.
Yeah. Because I can feel like the indie kind of titles, they kind of do that anyway. Yeah. And I think they do it for financial reasons too, right? I mean, but I want a big one, a big event sometimes. Let's see, perfect chat.
I will chime in on the single stuff. Just the one thing I would miss. So I love going to the shop on Wednesdays. Like I take a break from my day. I've been able to go in the middle of the day because I'm working from home. So like the past couple of years, I look forward to Wednesday, lunchtime. Go pick up my comics, browse around, walk around, look at all the covers, pick up too many variants, and then just I'm lucky to have a good comic shop where I can talk to the, the guys that are working there and stuff, and they're friendly and so I walked in and they have sometimes my channel on, and I'm like, oh. That's me up there. So I got a pretty good relationship. So I would definitely miss the visits, and then I would have to find something to replace it with, because it's just something nice to clear my head from the shit week. Sometimes
there's definitely something to be said about I tried to tell Maneater that, and I was like, man, it's I'm like she came in there with me because my comic book shop moved. So Odin and Sons in Savannah. He owns 2 shops. One was called Nerdheim, and that was board games and stuffed animals and stuff, and like toys. And then he had the comic shop, and then they combined them, and so she's walking around having fun, looking at stuff, and then I'm buying my comics, and today I went in, and the cashier, she's like, "Oh, where we at next week?" I'm like, this is cool. Like, people know me. Like,
Nice.
like Cheers, but comic books.
Yeah.
So yeah,
where everyone knows your name.
Dude, I was waiting. So Dakota was like, "Should we ask them if we can start a pull list?" And I'm like, "No, I want them to ask me."
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Going
right.
how to get, eh?
2 trips.
What's up? What's up?
Where
Not
the
my
dude
name.
was like,
Not my
"Do you
name.
maybe
Yes, we
want
are.
to start a pull list?" Because I'm getting like these big ass.
Oh, hi, Aramis.
Speaking of polls, are we doing polls yet? Because I got a big stack here that I want to.
Yeah,
Ooh.
but first, Aramis.
Aramis, can we
Don't,
show the video, please? Please.
Don't act like
He's
you
gonna
didn't
say
see my
no.
message. I know why you're here.
He's gonna say no. I
while
won't
we
do
wait
it without
for
his
that-
consent.
That's right. That's right. I didn't
Yeah.
promise, by the way. But yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. Let's do your
alright.
thing. Today is.
I'm gonna do it
is time
fast.
I bet
All
you
right.
will.
that was a sex joke. Okay, so first and foremost, hell
Nice.
to the Yizza.
Mhm.
Clap,
This
clap.
series is so good just after 2 issues. It's like
Yeah.
righteously good.
Dude, I was
Um,
real bummed when her Runaways ended, but
Yeah,
getting
she's-
a She-Hulk out of it kind of fixes it.
this I seriously recommend this to everyone.
Fuck
There's
yeah.
no one that I this if you like Radiant Black and you liked Supermassive, you are morally obligated to read this. It's
Yes.
freaking fantastic. Look at that. Just look at that. And
I said look at it.
Supermassive happened a couple weeks ago, but I swear, like I was reading it, like, oh my god, this is a blockbuster movie in one comic book, and it was like
Damn.
beginning, middle, and end in this square bound, this beautiful thick boy square bound, and it was like so epic.
The middle page that opens up.
Oh my god, a quadruple splash. Literally a quadruple splash. The middle folds out into a quadruple splash.
Damn.
Fucking amazing. Yeah. But yeah, that is a great comic book. This is great. This massive verse is awesome. And one thing I kind of want to talk about a little bit later, not right now, but yeah, Ryan Parrott and Kyle Higgins specifically. Kyle used to work at DC when Jeff Johns worked at DC, and they were like at each other's throats, did not get along. Now they're both at Image, and they're both launching separate superhero universes with Jeff Johns's Mad Ghost Geiger verse or whatever he's calling it, and Kyle Higgins is like Massive verse. So it's kind of like no one said it yet, but it feels like a competition to me. So maybe we can talk about it a little bit later. This is still baller, by the way. Have any of you been reading this?
I've read a little bit. I haven't finished the first volume, so I'm behind.
No, I have a whole bunch
Damn
of
good. Yeah, get caught up on this because it's really epic, and the whole premise. I mean, we've talked about it before, but it's like the future, and the dark kills you, and it turns you into a monster, and everyone has to live under ultraviolet lights.
Yeah.
And then there was the Blacktop special like a couple weeks ago. It was a thick boy, and this is really kind of blowing up into.
That was pretty metal. Like that one.
It was metal.
Was pretty metal. Yeah.
Nice.
So this is like a super good tie-in. I don't usually like these tie-ins for like an event like Devil's Reign, but Jerry Dugan is the ex-king right now in my mind.
Really?
And yeah, like the shit that he's doing related to the X-Men universe is just really awesome. And this is great because it showcases my girl right over here. So definitely recommend getting your hands on that. I haven't read this yet, but I immediately wanted to pick it up because it's by Tim Seeley, and everybody knows how I feel about Tim Seeley. So that's going to be on my to be read probably tonight. This I got because the cover's cool, and that's the only reason I got it. So nice. I look forward to kind of checking that out.
I can respect that.
Here's the problem. So I have this, and I'm dying to read it, but my shop didn't get their Marvel shipment 2 weeks ago, and I'm still waiting on. Lives number 2.
Yeah.
So it's like sitting here staring at me, and I can't read it because I'm waiting on another comic book. So that's frustrating. Still a very good series, and there's some sweet Moon Knight picks that we'll talk about later. But this is a very good Moon Knight run, and I'm glad they're kind of, people complain about synergy, but I kind of like it when Marvel, at the very least, tries to like expand on characters that are about to become really popular.
What is that?
This is Stormbreakers, and check out this cover.
Ooh.
That dope.
That's dope.
That is Storm Thor Store. That it's just cool. It's just a cool cover. I'm still reading this, even though I'm still not super loving it the way that Danny is. But I'm still motivated to. I want to love it. I want to love it, so I'm trying. I'm putting in the effort and I'm putting in the time. And just be patient with me, Danny. This is very good. This series is still going. It's so far just exciting. Nachios Daredevil, and it's super violent, dark, and daredevil-y. Miracle Man got me hooked on this title. If this is what I think it is. Yeah, Hellcop. And it's pretty good. I like it.
What is it about?
This sucks.
Is it bad?
Future, it's okay. It's some future shit. It's by Brian Haberlin, and I don't know. I'm caught up on it, but I haven't read this issue, and I forgot what happened, so I'm gonna have to remember when I start reading it. This sucks. This like royally blows. Hell, Sonia.
Oh,
I don't know.
You didn't like the first one? I felt like it was gonna be like the Power Rangers of Sonia's.
No. You're thinking of Sonia Verse. This does have the Sonia verse, like it does have all the Sonias. But something about like the first issue I liked, the second issue just like
wait,
dragged.
What am I thinking of?
Sonia Versal.
No, this is it right here. Did you read it? Number 1 of Hell Sonia?
I read the first 2 issues.
So number 1 has like Red Sonia and Blue Sonia and all them.
This spins out of Sonia Versal, so it does have all the Sonias, but it's just not as good as Sonia Versal.
Did you read the Valentine special, Judah?
I did. I liked the Valentine's.
That was good, right?
Yeah, it was good. I actually got 2 of those because one of the covers had like sexy cosplayer on the front, so I bought it. And then I got the other cover that just had like a sexually drawn Red Sonja. I enjoyed it. I'm like 4 issues behind on this, so this is gonna take me a while to catch up to.
I just got caught up on crossover because Kirkman's writing 13, so I need to be there for that.
I don't want to say I lost interest because I didn't, but I just went so long that I don't remember what happened. So I'm gonna have to do a big reread to continue. You know how that is.
That'd be funnier if Ree was here.
Yeah.
This is baller. This is Batman Killing Time #1, and I honestly just got it because it was a #1 for a Batman mini, so I thought it'd be easy to jump into. And I'm not really following Batman these days. It's awesome, and the way Penguin is drawn is exactly like Danny DeVito in Batman Returns.
Yeah, Tom King.
All right, G.
Tom King again.
All right, G. The time has come. Are you caught up on this?
God, what a good fucking.
No, I have it, but I haven't actually read it yet.
This is insane. This is insane.
Was it worth waiting for?
Yeah. There's more questions than answers when you read this, but
naturally.
This shit is such a weird like psychological horror. This idea of like you're just in this place and the world's gone and you're trying to make sense of it and none of it makes sense.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, and I'm going to say this on the record. I've said it in private before, but I'm just going to say it now. James Tynion the Fourth is going to be in the future what Neil Gaiman is now. He's going to be considered one of the legendary, like top-notch guys.
I can see that.
You know how you know when you are concurrently writing books that are all bangers, that they're the titles that everyone is talking about. Yeah, have you read that? Oh, that's Trent. Have you read this? That's Trent too. Holy shit!
When DC puts you on their best book, on their best-selling book, and then your even creator-owned stuff is even better than that.
Yeah,
like that's when you know.
Yeah,
he will be like the legendary guy, like the legendary writer that people model their career off of in the future, like for sure. So I only got this because it has the word heavy metal in it. And
dude, we didn't get any of those. I'm so.
Who's that? Evil Ernie? Who's that? What is that?
It's just so it's a weird horror story. It's about alien. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and there's also a heavy metal band. And somehow that's the story. And this is issue 1. It's weird. It's really cool art, but it's like the kind of art that's like makes you a little bit nauseous. It's kind of like gross cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm digging it. I'm feeling it. So yeah, and then this is the last thing. This isn't new by any means, but it's what I'm kind of reading these days. Queen and Country. It's just really good.
Oh, that's
yeah, it's by Greg Rucka, and it's black and white, but it's an espionage like political thriller. It kind of reads. It's like a Tom Clancy comic, like sort of, But it's like this chick is a British SIS like spy, but it's not like James Bond. It's like very grounded espionage. Like there's current events happening around it, and it kind of like speculates as to like what the secret services were doing like during like the days leading up to 9/11 and all that stuff. So it's very like political drama, and the characters are really good. But lately I've been in a huge spy kick. I watched Atomic Blonde recently. I've been watching Bond movies recently. Mission Impossible, Jason Bourne. Been reading this. I've been reading some old Robert Ludlum books. I've just been in the spy zone lately, and it's because
I wonder why.
It's because I'm doing something spy related, but not.
Hey.
I'm working on something fictional that's spy related, so I'm just drawing inspiration where I can find it. But
and if anybody wants to read into that, it's just remember he's active duty and he might have to leave for a little bit. What were you gonna say, G?
Oh, if you were you gonna reread the book, The Bourne Identity?
I read them a long ass time ago. I might reread them.
If you do, you should check out the dedication page. That's all.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I like that. My biggest fan, G.
Do the three of you like espionage as a fictional genre?
Hell yeah.
Mostly.
It's cool, right?
I love Jason Bourne. I love all that stuff. Comics and novelization, I can't really get into.
I think you need to see it.
Yes.
Yeah. There's different genres. There's the sensational spy stuff like James Bond and like Mission Impossible that has no real bearing in reality. It's just really fun take on some of the aspects. And then there's like that hard-boiled like Jean Le Carré, like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy type, like real spy stuff. And it's not sexy or glamorous at all, but it's really interesting.
Right. I mean, I do like some of like the more realistic kind of stuff. Like I did see season 1 of The Americans. I know you're watching that. I like stuff like that. What's the other one where it's the dude who ended up being a Manchurian Candidate? Spoiler.
The Manchurian Candidate.
No. So she's like CIA. Let me try to describe it. Maybe somebody knows. It's a TV series.
Homeland.
That's it. Like so shit like that.
Good
I like
show.
CIA and stuff like that. I gotta like turn off the propaganda stuff and just enjoy. What was this one for, Dane? Oh, by the way, Dane, do you want an invite? Do you want to jump up?
That was for Heavy Metal Drummer when
okay. Because I forget about the delay, and then I was like, does he not like black and white art? Like, I hate black and white art. It makes me want to puke.
For spy comics, I recommend Mind Management, Matt Kent's Mind Management.
Fantastic.
And Matt Fraction's Casanova.
Velvet. Also Velvet.
Have
you read that?
Velvet.
Ooh, I read that twice. Holy shit. That's like James Bond, but it's a chick, but it's a little more grounded. It's like somewhere between like the real stuff, like the more realistic stuff, and then once in a while she has like a wingsuit. So it's like regular until it's not. It's fucking great.
I think was Parker a spy?
Hey,
Blurred.
Huh?
Was Parker a spy?
Parker?
Yeah, that's I forgot his name. Anyway, now let's move on.
Yeah. G,
what's up?
Did you buy stuff?
I did.
Let's do it.
I went in with my list. Oh, okay. So my new LCS had this.
Hey, he got it. Nice. That's awesome.
Very happy.
Everybody wants that.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they have an extra copy if you're in the Michigan area.
We did.
G posted it, and then I was on my way back from a 3-hour drive. Called my LCS. He's like, "Yeah, we have 3." I didn't go home after a 3-hour drive. I went to the shop.
So, dude, I would have. So these are exciting because this is the end of this next phase of the High Republic.
Yes.
Which is like a huge bummer. Spoilers. So then this one was finally, and I've been waiting weeks to read Strange Academy 15. I didn't give a shit about this cover. I just wanted to know the story. But I finally, it was the only copy again that they had. And dude, this is my
what's the style of that? The thing that turned me off from Strange Academy, somebody said it's definitely aimed at a younger audience for like
yes.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Oh, the
collection? It's aimed at like, I would say like maybe teenagers, but like not to the point. The way you can tell is because the age of the main characters and the text bubbles are bigger.
Yeah.
Or are the text is bigger. So there's like less of it. But I kind of like that. It's a quick read.
The collection.
Maybe it is for me then.
The volumes when they're collected, they look like YA books. They're not the normal trade. So if you go look at them, they'll look a little different. They'll be
shorter, shorter in height.
I think it's probably worth checking out because I think it's likely that these characters are going to show up other places.
Oh, dude, Humberto Ramos is on art too. Like I love his art. So
I don't like his art at all. He's the weird mouth guy, Robo.
Judah loves his hates his art. He loves the way the teeth are meld together though. Like he especially likes the way the teeth are shown.
Like I think it's one of the, if you don't like it, your library would absolutely love to get us a donation.
Okay, fair.
So I would say like check out the trade. So this is my absolute, I was so excited to get it and it lived up to it.
Nice. Ooh, yeah.
Nice. I literally bought that because
that's a great cover.
Because of what you said.
It's they've been keeping the Strange title really fresh, and I appreciate that. And then
good things.
Do you have to read that? Nice. Nice.
Yes.
Floppy.
Oh, it bends. I don't know.
Floppy.
So yeah, they're coming out. These nice newsflash. These nice IDW collections are now coming out in paperback.
How much was that? How much did you spend on that?
This is cover price $40.
That's good. I mean, that's
another $20 to get a heart.
You know what? No, you can't because they're hard to find.
Yeah, they're sold out.
I have 3, and the price of the one on the 4th volume was like, all right, let me chill. Let me read these first.
G, can you gush about it for just a few moments?
Okay, let's see where I am. I could show you where I am right now. Ooh, this is where I ended.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude, it's been like it's super well paced. I'm gonna preface this by like I don't give a shit about the Ninja Turtles. I missed that in my childhood.
Wow.
I don't dislike Ninja Turtles, but like I thought April was a banana. I thought her cameraman was a California raisin. It didn't connect.
Vernon.
If you look at him and the California raisins, like I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. But yeah, like this. I only read it because Judah wanted me to, and I really enjoyed the little trade. But like, dude, I'm so glad I have this. I got to where I left off last time and was like, I can keep reading.
So good.
Nice.
Dude, yeah, like the Michelangelo short was fantastic.
Emotional.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee, snap out of it. Come on, let's go. I'm sorry, what? It looked like you were just reading.
I was. But it's that kind of book. Yeah, like I'm deeply invested somehow in these characters, like really quickly.
It's the Pixar thing where it's aesthetically for kids, but emotionally for adults.
Yeah. And a much more complex plot than you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's reminding me of a book series that I've been reading.
Nice.
Which is like no, that's it for me.
All right.
You can make me.
Hey, Blurred, no spoilers, okay?
Yeah, Blurred. Ban
none of them spoilers.
Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, everybody in the chat, do yourself a favor. And Blurred knows I'm not lying right now. Do yourself a favor, go to Twitter and mute Blurred. Because Blur don't give a fuck. Blur will just drop a fucking strike. He don't give a fuck. He's like, you didn't see it? Oh shit.
Too bad.
Sometimes I'll DM him on the side. I'm like, bro, you just gonna drop that like that?
A couple more days, Blur.
My Twitter.
Let the movie come out.
The people want spoilers. That's the thing. Like we individually we don't want spoilers, but the people en masse crave spoilers.
Sickos.
And he knows that.
Yeah.
Sickos.
Yeah. He said, please mute me.
All right, good call. Good call.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna yeah, it's it. Yeah. Let's see here. That's exactly how we are. So like in the IFLC, what's it? It's like if it's available on TV, it's 3 days, and then theaters is 10 days. But here's the deal: sometimes you still don't get it, and I'm like, look, I gave you time. We have the time. I'm not waiting any longer than that. You know,
you only have yourself to blame.
That's it.
And then our IFLC Facebook mod chat, people are like, I can't remember who. I think it was Ben. It was like, hey, no spoilers. And I was just like reporting on like something that was on Twitter before the movie had come out.
Okay.
Not a spoiler.
So can you spoiler a trailer?
No. I fully believe
as long as you don't talk about it in the context of the movie.
So if someone's like, I can't wait to see the trailer, and you tell them what happens in the trailer that they can't wait to see, you are spoiling the trailer. But if someone says they can't wait to see the movie and you reference the trailer that just came out, then you're not spoiling anything.
So here's the context. Okay. When the first trailer for Picard came out and had the reveal that Terry Ryan would be reprising the role of 7 of 9, a friend of mine immediately went to Facebook like in the early hours of the morning and was like, I am so excited to see that Jerry Ryan will be back as 7 of 9 in Picard. And another friend was like, hey, spoilers.
So, it depends on if you view the spoiler as part of the media or as a separate entity from the media. So
no, I think there's a bigger context here. Is you know how there's excitement. Sorry to interrupt, but I think you know how there's excitement for the reveal. There's excitement for the trailer itself. There's a certain level of excitement to hear fucking I want to call him Jean-Luc Picard. What's his name?
Jean-Luc Picard.
Patrick Stewart. There's a certain fucking Multiverse of Madness. Jean-Luc Picard. It goes like this. No. Listen. Yes, it's a spoiler. You spoiled the fucking reveal in the commercial. I don't care.
What?
I don't care. Yeah. That's just, I don't care. Yes, I'm spoiling it. It's a commercial.
The fact that you'll show me that tells me there's something way cooler in the actual movie.
There it is. Yeah. There it is.
And also, like, a movie comes out, you got to go to the theater. You know what I mean? There's you got to find time in your day. You know, it's like there's some effort that has to go into seeing it. So there's potential for spoiling. A trailer comes out, and within 5 minutes, even if you're working, you can quickly be like, "Oh, let me quickly see this. Let me go take a dump and watch this real quick."
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and you know,
the half-life is shorter.
And you know what's funny is, I can still empathize. Like if that was me, if I didn't see Patrick Stewart first in that thing, and somebody said it, there would be a bit of like, "Oh man, I would have liked it," but I'm not gonna bitch. But no way, it's a commercial. No way. No
not way. To the point that you would make a comment on a Facebook
post. Nobody say anything yet. I haven't seen the commercial yet. Like, no way. Polly has a weird one. All respect to Polly, but Polly considers if we thought it was good or bad to be a spoiler. I think it's a spoiler. I respect it, but it kind of goes in the realm of commercial for me. Yes, it's a spoiler. But I'm not ruining it.
I'm staying away from reviews and everything too. But like I don't like if you tell me, oh, Rotten Tomatoes is like, okay, it's kind of.
I don't give a shit about Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. So it's not like whatever.
But it kind of goes to the same thing as a commercial.
It's kind of like the guy down the street. Do you want to know what he thinks of it? No, I don't give a shit what the guy down the street thinks.
Yeah.
Right. Because I never look at that stuff before going into movies, anyways. Because like. I don't know. I want to make my own opinion.
It really depends on like the context. I think
it's changed over the years. When I was younger, like back there, I'm going to tell you kids about something called a time when people went to the theaters to see movies that weren't made by Marvel and DC. But way back in the day when movies would come out and you'd be going to the movies and you didn't know what you were going to see until it was like time for you to go to the movies. and then you were trying to pick out what to spend your like one night out at the movies on, I could like at that point I would look at Rotten Tomatoes just to see what was above 60%, just to make sure I didn't waste my evening on a shitty movie.
Sure.
Now that everything is a franchise movie that I have to see, it doesn't matter what the reviews say because I'm going to see it anyway because I have this set list of movies I'm seeing for the rest of the year because I have to. So
also,
no, I just feel like I've been done dirty by Rotten Tomatoes because I'll be like, oh, I won't go see that because it's gotten this bad score. But then the next weekend, the score is like much higher. And all my friends have seen it and loved it. But it's out of theaters in my tiny ass little town.
I trust the audience way more for the most part. Unless it's like something I know may have some political,
especially when it comes to Zack Snyder.
Yeah, that's right.
At this point, I have like 5 friends that I'm like, they're all have different tastes and I value them for different reasons.
Ready.
Always within reach.
Do you sleep with that?
Now that Judah's taking us on the Wayback Machine, like we also had to go to the theater to watch trailers. I went to watch I Am Legend on IMAX.
I missed that.
So I could watch the first 5 minutes of The Dark Knight. We went to watch, what was the movie? Cloverfield to get the Transformers trailer. Like you had to go to specific movies to watch specific trailers.
So in the spirit of like, it wasn't me, my parents, did they have like the movie book for like each year?
Yes.
And then like someone would be like, oh, My Left Foot, and my dad'd be like, I'll go look that up. And have to like get the year that it came out and or find the year that it came out, and then it would have like like Siskel and Ebert's review and like the New York Times. It would have like a collection of reviews and like the stars.
Oh no!
Okay.
So it was Rotten Tomatoes in like fucking book form.
In book form, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. Me and Maneater, we went to go eat at this place that cost way too much for her birthday, and they sat us in this nice little table, and part of the decor was encyclopedias on the shelf next to us.
That's
and
all it was used for them.
It was supposed to look like you're supposed to inside some mansion, but I think it was a mansion. Then they made it a restaurant or something. And so I'm sitting there like a dork, like it's decoration. They're actually encyclopedias though. So I'm like, I'm gonna grab it. So I grabbed it. I'm looking through, and in my head, I'm like, how fucking crazy is it that people's information was stuck to a very particular moment in time, and you were stuck with that information for as long as that edition lasted, and you would never know you were wrong until the next edition was printed.
Dude, I remember in middle school, and I loved this. I look forward to it every year. They had a competition, and there was like 100 questions, and each one came from a different source, and you could only use each source once, and it was to teach you how to source information.
Good.
Mhm.
And so you had to find it because like you could get that fact from multiple sources, but you had to make sure it was it was infuriating. And only like 10 kids ever finished
Get it at 3 different sources at least on your papers. Screw
dude,
you, lady. I don't have time for this.
That's like one database now.
Yeah.
Before I knew that there were lies, I would source just the most bullshit shit. Like when I was like writing papers in like 12th grade, and like the internet was still relatively new to all of us.
Right.
And like I'm trying to like source this paper, so I would just Google something, and without even really like reading it, I would just be like, okay, well, this is one of my sources.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they're teaching people not to do that now.
When I was in college, they wouldn't let us cite Wikipedia yet.
Dude, I was gonna say if anyone's out there and like getting in trouble for that,
You said yet?
dude, all you have to do, just scroll down to the citation.
Yes,
and
that's what
copy that.
I did.
They've
That's what I
already
did.
done it for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wikipedia
That's
is a
always
great
been allowed
source.
because you can't prove it.
Just cite their source.
I always checked that those books were available in our college library, though.
Yeah.
Like whatever I was looking for, just just in case.
Your cat is like
Coco's pissed.
And Spark Notes and Pink Monkey.
let me get to my books and
I would like to thank SparkNotes for letting me not read so many shitty books by old dead white men.
Yeah.
Oh,
Robo,
thank
you mind if I drop on mine real quick? They're not.
Yeah.
I only got Marvel stuff because my shop didn't get anything else.
It's the best brand. It's okay. Good.
I mean, it's the one that gives me digital codes. So real quick, Judah already mentioned these 3, but I also picked them up.
Nice. Are you collecting all Moon Knight?
Yes, I'm reading Moon Knight ongoing. Yeah. It's really good.
Can we talk about how
it's really
Jen
good.
McKay doesn't write a bad book?
Jed
No,
McKay's
Jed
pretty damn
McKay's
good.
yet to fail. The What If Miles Morales #1.
Nice.
So this is an anthology of what ifs about Miles Morales, which is super insane. So he's going to be the main character in all three of the books, which I really like. X-Men #9, which was this was not the best book in the series, but I really like the cover. Pepe Larraz. G already brought this up too, but I picked up the Scott.
Dude, I love that cover.
Very nice. Judah's favorite artist.
Symbol and PR Germ.
Nice.
They know.
I think that's what I got. Yeah.
They know what they're doing with these variant covers. I'm not even reading this. I just picked it up because it was Peach Momoko.
That is really fucking nice.
So you like Peach Momoko covers?
That one is definitely.
Dude, I fucking love
that.
I'll pick up almost everything Peach puts out, and then of course I had to get both of these.
Nice.
And my shop didn't have the other High Republic book. It didn't get there. And then I'm not reading this either. Well, this one I might read, but my girl Jubilee on the cover, so I had to get her.
That's a good one.
That's it. That's all. Oh wait, and one more thing. And I need to put the book somewhere.
Fuck you!
Oh, yeah, that's sweet.
Gorgeous. That is
I can't wait for the Immortal X-Men. That shit's gonna be baller.
That's dope.
I didn't get that.
I like response immediately. Fuck you.
I think I was like, I need to go home and I need to shuffle some stuff around because I think I can legitimize needing that.
Well, my shop usually has the white short boxes for $5, but they haven't had any in a while, and I need more because I'm running out of room. And
I'm kind of trying to class up my collection because in moving I realized like, dude, I think there's actually cat pee in one of them. So like I need to replace a lot of my short boxes. And I think I need one for X-Men. So
that one.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but look at that.
It's in the Geneva Conventions. You have to get that box for your X-Men.
Dude, I love how much love X-Men is getting.
Yeah.
Me too.
Now.
X-Men's killing it in the comics right now.
My co-hosts, all three of them, they are not on board with this many X-Men books, but I'm glad you guys are because then I can talk to you guys about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it right now. I'm in the middle of I want to do a video, and the thing I picked is the thing that I think I bigger than I thought it would be. I want to do a very short video on everything you need to know about Hulk and what's happening right now. And I'm gonna actually start it with Amadeus Cho. I'll talk about that a little bit, and then boom, start Immortal Hulk. And then I was gonna make a little joke at the end about what I feel about the new Hulk. And I'm like, I'll just read these real quick. I'm like, that's a lot of fucking books. So I'm still working on it. After that, I'm gonna get on top.
Immortal Hulk's like 50.
Can I get a little spicy about Hulk for a second?
Yeah.
Donny Cates is being testy about it. He's been so testy about it. Like,
I know you're not allowed to criticize Donny Cates.
Like, dude, you've written good comics, and there's objective metrics to show that they're pretty successful. People really like them.
Yeah.
Take the trash to the road.
Thank you, Alexa.
Alexa just ordered a bunch of Donny Cates books for Judah.
I'm reminding you. Take the trash to the road.
Okay.
Reminders. Nice.
So I'm talking directly to Donnie. You've written really great comics, and people really like you, and I really like you. But when people don't like Hulk, it's not because you're a bad writer. It's just because
it's different.
Write a great Hulk story, and
you shat the bed with this one. It's okay.
And it's very cringe to watch you like fighting with individuals on Twitter that don't enjoy the concept. Like, just let it go, man. You know, like I'd say keep going with your concept. Do what you set out to do, but the testiness is very cringe in my mind.
I will say just one thing because
thin-skinned, you know.
But anytime I don't like a book and talk about it on social media, I never tag the creators because what's the point of me
telling them? That's silly.
Yeah,
he'll find your tweet. He'll find your tweet, and respond to it, even if you don't tag him.
That's different because Slot does that too. Like I've never tagged him on anything, and he'll reply to some stuff, and I'm like, "You don't follow me, homie. How did you get here?" So that's different. But don't tag creators and stuff, and don't tag creators to tell them that you pirated their book either.
Don't do that. That's
oh
not
yeah,
cool.
that's really bad. I saw Donny Cates come back to Twitter to fight trolls on it. Yeah, because he was gone for a while. He came back just to be mad about the. I think his Hulk is fine. It just takes some time to get where he's going. Here's what I'll say. Since I've been doing a lot of Hulk reading lately, since I've gone back and started reading, I'll tell you that Amadeus's deal with who was it? Tom Taylor, I think it was.
Greg Pak.
Greg Pak. Sorry, yeah. Where Amadeus is trapped in the trunk and is tied up, and even when they're fighting in the mind, they're like he's hitting him with the car and throwing like in the mind thing, and that's affecting what's happening in the real world. And then I'm remembering 1990s Hulk, and they're literally like Green Hulk and Gray Hulk are fighting in the mind, and there's like these things that are happening. And the more I was reading, the more I started to forgive Donny Cates. I started to be reminded that it's like, yeah, this whole spaceship thing is not that far off from precedence anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's a little over the top. I do think flying through the fucking like cosmic Guardians of the Galaxy, like whatever,
it's
like
not. It's just not intriguing me. Like I'm okay with over the top. It's just not drawing
silly,
me in.
Though. It's over the top and silly. And Blurred, I hope you're right. And when it gets to where it's going, and then we get that the Donny Cates we're used to, like, okay, all right. But even then, I don't think I would change my mind. I think once he gets to where he's going, and then it's like then he gets that Donny Cates kind of hit, just like in Thanos Wins and all that shit. Once we get there, I think at best what I'll say is, okay, I like it now. I still won't like the journey to there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I won't change my mind on what I've read so far.
The other thing is you put it with Ryan Otley. You put him with Ryan Otley, and that just like exponentially increases like how edgy the book kind of feels and looks, right? Because that's Otley. That's what he does. Like that's what they hired him for. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for where we're going, but I completely understand anybody that after reading Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk that doesn't like this book.
Right. Yeah. That's where I'm going in now, and it's like, man.
Dane from actual fandom kind of described Gunny in what I would say is the most accurate way. And I feel like what Donnie does, going back to like Thanos Wins, Death of the Inhumans, Cosmic Ghost Rider especially, is Donny Cates writes 90s comics, but good. Like he's like, what if I did 90s comics again, but this time it was good? And I feel like
this time with chains and a sword.
Right. Yeah. But like he's sort of, it's like a love letter, like especially, dude, Cosmic Ghost Rider is a love letter to over the top 90s shit. Yeah. But it's like the good, it's like the thoughtful version, you know?
Yeah. Hey Michael, we'll answer that in a second. Let me show my polls real quick and we can get into some shiza. All right. So of course, I got I love this color. I'm digging all just like with the
corner boxes,
the Silver Surfer. Yeah, the old fucking 1990 style corners. If I see any of those, I pick them up. I got this cover. I thought this was pretty badass on Strange. Of course, I got to get Strange. Gives my name, get it? Got the next Daredevil Woman Without Fear. Pretty badass.
That should be the
I was laughing about getting Strange in a sexual
getting Strange. Yeah, having sex with somebody.
I gotta get some Strange.
Yeah. Devil's Reign Spider-Man. Got that one. I did pick up, my wife would be proud of me. I got this one. He gave me 2 of the foils, and I said, "I'm gonna pick the one I want the most." And I did not get both of them.
Huh.
I'm throwing up.
Are you caught up? Are you caught up? I'm still loving that series.
I have them all. So yes, I'm caught up. I've owned them all. I got this one. I also got another one. So we interviewed old Fratino. I picked it up. I have 2. There's the other one that we've seen with the actual like spell, the white spell, and there's the white cover. And I got the Virgin cover of it. This Saturday, he's doing a signing at my comic shop. I'll get that one signed. So that's dope. Yeah. Of course, I'm picking up all my milestone stuff. Right.
Nice.
Yep. Grabbing that. And then Harbinger #5 came out. I was really
Good
surprised
series.
to not see this pulled by Judah.
That's because I have pulls from 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago that I just didn't show because I didn't want to be up there forever.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. And then the last one, I ordered some stuff from the DSA website. I got like a Abolish ICE shirt and then some other thing, like whatever. And then I saw this, and I have no intentions of reading this one. I mean, maybe I will, but it's a comic book. Talk Bernie to me.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks sick.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's a campaign, but it's a comic. No idea. And I'm like, I'm not gonna read this, but it's a comic, so I feel like fuck it. Why not? Yeah. So that's half of what I got. All right, next half. So Parasomnia showed up in the mail.
Oh,
fun and moody. So I started that one. That's pretty good. I did get. Yeah, we also interviewed them. That's how I found out about it. And I ordered it. It just got here. Excessive Wolverine #1. So these are some older ones. Oh yeah, we already did talk about this.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about this.
That was fun to talk about.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I think I might have talked about these then. Yep. Blah, blah, blah. I tell you what, I did get. Here we go. I picked up this bad boy. Put it. Speaking of, I have them. I'm reading them. Just don't like them. Bought this bad boy too. I like that.
Ooh.
When cons come back up, and I go and somebody charges me $70 to draw something on there. Does anybody know what an ash can issue is? Well,
I know what an ash can is.
Not so much what it is, but why it's called that.
I don't know why I can't remember why it's called that, but from what I understand, it's like it's basically like a few pages from the first issue before the 4th issue that gets released in a very limited release, like at cons or something. It's like a preview for a comic.
Ooh.
Something is killing the children. Ash can.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm like, and what's funny is 2 of the people that work at the comic book store, I came in to pick it up, and he's like, "You bastard, I wanted that one." And
that feels good, right?
Thomas said, "Did you get them? You got both of them."
Berserker's dope. Nice. I highly recommend it to people.
Yeah, that's why I didn't pull them, but yeah.
Nice.
Ainsley's my Berserker buddy among the mods. So
Foxy Hungry. I am definitely I got My Little Monsters over there, the collected edition of all of Cullen's artworks. We are fans of Cullen Bunn. He's been on the show quite a few times, and then we talked to him about his one of his shorts, but
his anthology book for I think Aftershock.
It was an entry in the anthology. I thought it was a short, but it's like 20 pages. It's like a full comic book in that anthology. So, Michael earlier asked a question. So, question for everyone: are the Netflix Marvel shows finally canon? And I have a feeling. So let me know if there's anything more. What we do have, and I know your takes on this, and I would argue if I didn't get bonered, but it's Daredevil, same actor playing Daredevil, was in No Way Home. Is it canon now? What do you guys think? What's your guess?
Let me preface this by saying at this juncture, there's no way to know. I'll say that what I think is that they're using they're going to leave it vague. I don't think they're going to reference any events from the Netflix shows, but I don't think that they're going to fully roll it into the canon either. Are
we just going to quietly write out Danny Rand?
I think they're going to. I think that eventually, yes. I think that in the distant future, they'll reintroduce some characters to the Netflix shows that confirms that the Netflix shows aren't canon, but they're going to preserve the things they like and roll them into the MCU and then just treat it like a different Daredevil exists in the MCU, but he looks the same.
I think it's going to kind of be like the Star Wars books, like that were published around, not like the EU, but not Legends, but like the
Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
Yeah, that was published like right before Disney bought it, and there's nothing that's been like the Clone Wars comics. Nothing's really been explicitly contradicted in it yet, and they've been pulling from it.
So there's one Dark Horse comic that is officially considered Disney canon, and it's the Darth Maul. I can't remember the subtitle.
Oh, Son of Dathomir.
Son of Dathomir. That's right.
It's really good. Check it out. I don't even like
it is really good.
That character.
And the Clone Wars so the Clone Wars comics are, officially speaking, they are not canon. Yeah. However, it would be reasonable to treat them as canon because they are part of the Clone Wars, which is canon. So
it's the closest you can get to being part of like the Disney canon without actually being.
So for me, we've had this canon conversation before, and for me, I cannot get it out of my head that it has to be in accordance with what the IP says or it doesn't say. And I like that you brought up. I mean, you said you're not EU, but I'm going to add EU. So me and Judah had this debate a long time ago. It was really fun. And one of the things that came out of the debate was their release on levels of canon, right? With
the old G canon and C canon from the
with
Holocron.
G canon being the highest level canon that trumps all canon by way of contradiction specifically. And so the EU was a level of canon that would be canon unless a George Lucas film contradicted it, then that part would not be canon.
Which eventually happened with the prequels movies.
Right. And then Disney buys, now it's like, boom, that shit doesn't exist anymore. It's we either say it's canon or not. I'm okay. Listen, I'm okay for fans of EU like you guys to go, nope, I still consider it and unless it's contradicted, I'm okay with that. That's fine.
Question for you then, based on your definition. So let's say this happened. Let's say that there was a Star Wars movie that came out, and that Star Wars movie is canon. It will always be canon. Yes. It will never not be canon. It's a Star Wars movie. But let's say that Dark Horse,
they're working on making sequels not canon. I don't know if you've watched The Mandalorian, but it's pretty obvious.
But let's say that Dark Horse, before Disney bought Star Wars, adapted that canon Star Wars movie into a comic book.
Okay.
Is that comic book, even though all the Dark Horse with the Save Dathomir, Son of Dathomir, is considered not canon, would an adaptation of a canon thing be considered canon?
Okay, so I just to ask some questions. Like, for example, Dune is adapted into a comic, right? If I read that comic book, it matches the movie as much as a comic book panels can, right? So you're saying that comic did that.
Yes.
Match the movie panel for panel.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. It's just a retelling.
Okay. Yeah, so now we get to the Clone Wars, which is not 100% that, but here's the deal. The Clone Wars canon, and the comics were written with old scripts that were not used in the Clone Wars. They're just old scripts, stories that kind of take place during the Clone Wars. It's drawn in the same style as the cartoon, and it references it. It's like the events of the cartoon are happening around it. It's just like unused scripts. It was published by Dark Horse and before the Disney acquisition. Do you think it's reasonable to treat those things as canon if they're not contradicted by anything?
I definitely wouldn't use the word unreasonable, but I have to explain what canon, like the purpose, right? It's not just a thing that is or isn't. It's why is it important? What does it matter to be canon or not canon? And for me, it matters in that it creates a framework for me to have expectations of what can and cannot happen in the future. And so if it's Dark Horse, and I know Disney doesn't give a fuck about Dark Horse, then for me not calling it canon has nothing to do with what I feel about the story or if it should be canon. it's because it doesn't serve any purpose for what can happen. Because I know Disney doesn't care about it. You know what I mean? And so that's where it's kind of like fan work. Some people have arguments that, like, yeah, fan fiction is canon to me because the fans are more important than what some fucking suit at Disney says, right? And that's fine. But I think that at that point, we're using canon as a function for something else. For me, it has to do with the shared universe. It has to do with what can happen in the future. And if it's not a part of the license, then it doesn't help me any.
It gets murky, and I agree with you, by the way. I think that's a really good, solid defense of why it is important, and I agree with that. And it contributes to like the stability of the world, which makes it fun to live in when it's stable. Right. But there are still gray, murky areas, like a completely unrelated example,
like Netflix Marvel, right?
Sort of, yeah, like Netflix Marvel, and like the Killing Joke came out, and it was never supposed to be canon. DC came out and was like, the Killing Joke's not canon, but then it was forever treated as canon by every single writer. Like Barbara Gordon stayed wounded until Gail Simone made her walk again, and it is forever accepted as a part of canon. It hasn't been written out, and now DC's finally come around and been like, well, okay, whatever. I guess it's canon.
Yeah.
Even
should that not be able to happen, or like what? No,
that's fair.
What governs that? You know
but
what I mean?
But again, this is the answer that I know is this is an unpopular answer because fuck the suits, right? I get it. But if the suits give power to the editor in chief, if Brevoort and company say, yeah, I like that, go ahead, run with that story, then that goes back to what I was saying. Now that is the license owners taking that story and going, great. Perfect example is Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett. Up before that episode, for me, not as yes, I was trolling. I trolled a meme about how Boba Fett's dead and all that stuff. But really what it was about is like, there's no point in me thinking he's alive because I know that they have made those books not canon. What's awesome for the fans of those books is for Disney to then go, all right, we're doing it. Now it's canon. You know what I mean? Or some shit. Or they could have done it in the future. And it's this grandson of Boba Fett. And we find out that he lived and he handed him and trained him and stuff. Okay, now they've made that canon that he survived. Until that happens, I'm like, it doesn't really, he lived,
so, And even Marvel is murky with their own shit because in the comics, Poe is a naval. He was a naval soldier that then ended up working with with Leia. But then in the last movie, they made him a spice runner, and it doesn't there's not enough time for him to be both things. So now we have to go with the movie stuff because I think any live action stuff kind of overtakes any stuff that happens in the comics. So even with all the care that they're doing, and they're pretty good about maintaining canon with stuff in the comics.
Yeah.
But if something live action comes out and they're like, oh yeah, this is the way it was now.
Yeah.
I
would disagree with both of the things that's on in front of me right now. So Michael says, comic historian says unless it's directly said it's not, it's canon. Okay, I guess. But then even Leonard Nimoy, forgive me, I think that is a good quote for some people, right? Like it's like I think what I mean is like the people
who the insufferable know-it-all types, yeah.
Right. And I'm not saying like actually that's not canon because that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that it's like if there was an EU book that had fucking Luke Skywalker.
I don't think there is one where he was fucking.
Well, there was.
Kids, right?
Again, I'm just gonna give an example. There's an EU book, and he was able to like concentrate the Force in such a way, and it was a badass, and everybody loved it. And he created a lightsaber with no hilt, and the energies of the Force came out of his hand, and he fucked up a bunch of people with a lightsaber that he manifested with his own mind. And in this book, and everybody fucking loved it, but it was only in that book, and it never was in the movies, and it never was in Disney. I don't care, about what Leonard Nimoy says in this particular instance, or what Comic Historian says. No, it's not real until if fucking Disney says it. You know what I mean?
I would take it a step further and say that I mean there's tons of fiction out there that's not part of a shared universe, and there and it's good. There are some people who want that, and I like that too sometimes.
Yes,
I don't understand the point of making. I don't see the purpose of making it a shared universe if there's not some kind of established canon. Because then it's like, why are we even doing this? Let's just make standalone shit. You know?
That goes to my point with, and we'll move on because I know I'm ranting, but it's like that goes to my point with.
We're so good at it.
It goes to my point with people who like, if you really love indie style standalone big books, right? If that's your thing, awesome. If you don't like that serialized kind of thing that comes with the big two, that's fine. Not everybody's thing. But why I like it, why I need the movies to connect. This is why I don't really care for DC movies. I'm not memeing Danny. I'm not trying. Yeah, I know. But the reason I don't like them that much, I love them. Like I'm a nerd, right? But the but the thing that's missing for me is because they don't have the thing that makes me love their comic books. I want a shared universe. I'm not saying it's bad if it's not there. It's what I want. It's why I read comic books, because of the shared universe.
I want to know more about this lightsaber that needs no health.
That is cool. That is
a cool concept, right?
That's dope, right? Yeah, you just fucking manifest the energies together.
Is it Afra that has the weapon that can fire like a lightsaber bolt across the universe? Yeah.
Super
across
weapon.
The universe. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, it's like a
rifle.
sniper lightsaber.
It's like a baby Death Star in her gun.
Yeah.
She wants to. Yeah, that's a great arc. That's a great series.
Go read Afra.
In conclusion, Michael Malone, I would look at Netflix, because it's licensed, in the same way that you look at Legends and EU. Consider it canon until contradicted, especially since we have Fisk and Daredevil in. But I agree with Judah. I don't think they're going to hold it to be 100% true.
I don't want it to be canon. And it's not because I don't like all, like I love the Punisher, I love Daredevil, I love the first season of Jessica Jones. And that's pretty much. Oh, I liked the first half of the first season of Luke Cage. Like I like a lot of the Netflix series, but I don't want it to be canon because now that they're really mixing everything up, it'd be cool to have like more interactive versions of those characters. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't really work story-wise.
Keep the casting, move on, and not talk about it.
I mean, they're just variants, right? Everything's a variant. Anything that was
it would be nice. A different Danny Rand would be nice because he was just.
Oh, I heard the comics got a new Iron Fist. Maybe we could do that.
Right.
Yeah. Do that.
Yeah.
Dude, tie that in with a different, I don't know, with something else.
That was good. That was a good one.
That was good.
I promise I will clip that. We're gonna.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys did awesome.
It was really good.
Show me. Oh my God.
That's Mr. Knight, ladies and gentlemen, and NBs.
You know what? I thought of you immediately when they released the deal, because I remember you were talking about, but I really hope Mr. Knight happens. Like they got to do Mr. Knight, and then boom, it's like they heard you. They're like,
how cool does he look? He looks so cool.
It's badass.
There's something about the stitching. There's something about the stitching in his mask.
Yeah.
That I'm like, man, this looks. It's rare that
almost like you want to eat it. Almost like that would make a delicious cake.
Dude,
like,
can we talk about that? What is the knot he did in that tie?
Oh, that's wow. I was gonna say
that's not a standard Windsor.
It's a full Windsor. And then I look closer.
It looks like a backwards full Windsor.
Yeah. No, but look, it's layered.
And dude, like not only did they give us Mr.
it looks
Knight,
like it tied
but the
backwards.
attention to detail.
No, look.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see. It's like
in the comic.
If I could have gotten a hold of that suit, I would have worn that to my wedding. I would have worn that at my wedding.
Yeah. That's
in the comics, you don't see Mr.
Much to
Knight's
the chagrin,
which I really like. Being able to see his eyes is
right.
Powerful.
I like the eyes. I also this is gonna sound weird. I really like the stitching down his face, like you said, because it is extremely functional. Can you imagine the bead of that down your lips?
Oh yeah,
and it'd be like, and it would go to one side. Like the fact that it comes down, and then you have the fresh right down the mouth.
Form. Yeah, natural.
It also looks harsh, like a scar.
Yes, yes, it definitely has like a scar, and it has that whole duality thing, right? Like it's split, like his face is split, his mind is split. Yeah, I love it.
I'm glad it has a brow as well.
Yes,
it would look weird if it didn't. If it was just flat.
Yeah, it adds to the emotion of it all, right? Man, fucking.
One of Kevin Feige's Kevin Feige's reactions to the Batman is that he tweeted like, "I wish Marvel would let me direct a movie like this," which tells me that,
thanks for going by.
Which tells me that he wants to make depressing, like humorless, angry shit. So hopefully this is kind of like that in some ways.
Do you guys think Moon Knight also kind of Sailor Moon's into this costume?
Oh God, I hope so.
Oh, I hope so. I hope he has a transformation.
He's just floating and he spins around, but he's naked and his dick just goes
flopping around. Yeah.
The internet loves Oscar Isaac's dick. All right, so
what's that?
Yeah,
the internet
loves Oscar Isaac's dick.
Oh, really?
I didn't know dapper.
Look
at those glowing eyes here. That looks dope.
And the cane, I love it.
There's no way you're not gonna be able to get blood in this thing, though.
Oh.
Yeah, or eat spaghetti. I mean, come on.
You cannot eat spaghetti in this. 100%.
This is not a spaghetti suit.
No.
Yeah.
Or a burger with an egg on it? No way.
No way, dude.
No way, dude. Look, I have a
burger with spaghetti in it. Like, no.
Hello.
That's what M&M's Red New Restaurant has a sandwich with spaghetti on it.
Really?
Oh my God.
I have seen a spaghetti sandwich. Isn't that like I know why he did that.
Dude,
that's some broke people shit.
Spaghetti sandwich sounds like the kind of thing you say when something fell apart. Like, oh man, I gave a briefing today and it was a real spaghetti sandwich, man.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Like
soup sandwich. So a soup sandwich is like, it's like you fucking bombed it. It's fucked up.
You bombed it.
A spaghetti sandwich is like, all right, it wasn't like the worst, but it was pretty messy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the way, Mr. Privilege, the spaghetti sandwich is like some broke people shit. Broke white people shit, but broke people shit.
I would eat
your leftovers. You put your shit in the thing in your deal. Yeah, I would eat it too. I'm kind of like mad at poor white people.
I'll try anything, man. Fuck it.
I can't wait till some restaurant charges $30 for it.
Yep.
Put some American craft singles on that and. Yeah.
All right, so I kind of want to wait for G to come back for the next one because we're gonna talk about some spiciness, we'll do Batman. We'll do Batman. Because I do want to talk about Jason Aaron's thing. But before we even talk about that, can you Discord me Aramis's thing? Because Aramis gave us permission.
Stop
That's
it.
right, Man-Eater. Man-Eater knows what's up.
Gotta butter bread first. Yep.
Gotta butter the bread first. That's right. I don't think I ever ate that, but I definitely know. I've heard enough people who grew up broke. Yeah,
there was a lot of pictures of costumes this week. We also saw Firefly from the Batgirl movie.
Oh, let me pull it up. Hold on.
Brendan Fraser was as Firefly, which looks super cool. And then we saw Batgirl riding around on the motorcycle too for a little bit, like some test footage.
Zoe Kravitz is unbelievably attractive.
Yeah, it's not really. I mean, but look at her father.
Yeah, true.
It's funny because I think now that Jason Momoa, I think, is getting back with a mom. I saw him in an interview talk about talk to Zoe's siblings. Like, yeah, their stepdad's Aquaman and their sister's Catwoman. So like,
is that it right there?
Let me see. I think I saw one that looks like it's more from the set. But yeah, that's the character for sure.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, that big one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. I mean, I love Brendan Fraser. I'm glad he's back on my TV a bunch.
I don't want to eat it this weekend. Okay, I guess we're having spaghetti sandwiches this weekend.
Hey, put it on the Discord. I want to see how they come out.
Robo Dukes and Duchess Discord.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So this is the character, right? Are they gonna do like some like ultra realistic? Is he gonna catch on fire and fly around? Or?
I'm thinking he's gonna be like probably a mentor to the other Firefly, the younger version. Or maybe like a if you've seen Suicide Squad, like a Rat Catcher 1 and 2 thing.
Like a silly ass guy.
Yeah.
All right. So I hope everybody. Let's see. We're gonna download.
Oh, Filipino version has hot dogs in it. I'm in.
Haba nagila, haba nagila, haba nagila ben.
Did you guys do that? Did they raise you on a chair and stuff?
Yeah, we did the chairs.
Did anybody catch on video? I want to see that.
Yeah,
it is on video. I have to search for it, but it is.
Like
on
I'm
video.
I'm a bad friend, and I was watching your wedding. I was there on YouTube, like a lot of us were, and none of the Jewish stuff. And I was like, wait,
we broke the glass.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep.
That was it. We kept it pretty non-denominational, but we did dance the hora, and we also had there's no Jesus, so the non-denominational means God, but no Jesus.
Got it.
But we did do the Jewish prayer over the challah and the wine before dinner, and then weird time to grimace.
Oh, okay. You guys didn't hear that. Sorry.
Weird
what did
time
you say
to grimace,
when I did that?
Man. I said we did the Jewish prayer over the challah and the wine, and
oh God, what is that?
And then we danced the hora, which is that's the chair thing with Hava Nagila. So it was really nice.
Sorry, I started the video while you were talking. It blasted in my ears. I thought it blasted in y'all's ears too. It did not.
I gotta say that challah bread I do love.
Yeah,
challah bread's good.
Even if I'm not Jewish, I like really.
Everyone in the chat who has not had a bagel with cream cheese, lox, maybe some capers. I actually go without the capers, and a red onion. You're missing out. You got to do that. That's the best.
It's a lot of food we got to try this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Clockwise. All right, here we go.
That's the best kind of homework.
I think I'm actually at the.
Who's Kitty?
Hey,
Who's Kitty? Is that?
Robo's not watching somebody else's stream.
Hey, tell me if you all hear this. All right, there we go. So for those who don't know, Aramis is like our trusty mod. I feel like he's been our mod since the beginning of Discord, and then he mods for me over at my Twitch when I play games, and it's just the mod. He's just the master mod.
And an incredibly fun guy to hang out with, by the way.
Yeah, I got that bagel at this gentrified bodega.
I want to hang out with Aramis.
It's not a gentrified bodega. It's a bagel shop that's called the bodega. That happens to be gentrified. All right, here we go. I hate that place. All right. Aramis, ladies and gentlemen. Aramis.
Oh, snap.
And that was the mighty Ant-Man at my
wedding.
That
was dope.
Yep. Yeah, good shit. Good shit. We love it. We'd love to see it.
Thank you, Aramis.
When you said that to me, I'm like, I was extra sad. I mean, you guys could have started a separate group text. So I got to see all the shenanigans and when you guys are meeting and when you guys are going out, and then you're texting everybody.
I thought about just letting the thing keep streaming because that room where we did the ceremony got converted into the room where the reception was, like during cocktail hour. So I could have just let it roll, and you would have seen them like come in and like put in the tables and set the tables and stuff, and then you would have seen like the wild shenanigans. But I don't think anybody would have sat and watched that long.
It was a perfect angle to kind of be like you're sitting in one of the pews on the side.
Yeah, I set it up together. I was gonna bring my laptop and I forgot to, so I just went in there right beforehand, put my phone on, started the stream, hoped that I did it right, and then it all went down. And the best part is my cousin Jason is one of the groomsmen, and he comes up there, he stands over to the side, and then he looks over like this. He looks over, he's like.
We were there. You know what's funny is like I if I didn't know you, I would have been like, what the fuck? he just turned it off. But I know you, and I knew what was happening in your brain, and it's like a lot going on. You just got married, now I got to get back to the thing. You're like, oh, it's just things. Okay, all right, thanks, bye.
Oh no, I said goodbye. I said
yeah, I know.
guys.
It was like,
Yeah.
okay. All right, hey, thanks for being there. Boop. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
no, it's just
so unloved.
It was fun, but it was also chaotic. It was a lot of, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Right. We enjoyed it, but we're also glad that it's over.
So if you're here to talk about Batman, because I put Batman on the thumbnail and Batman in the title, we're not going to talk about Batman. Maybe we'll talk about Batman. You guys let me know. We're already.
We can talk about other Batman.
I do want to talk about though, and we could talk about Batman after if you guys are still up for it. Because I don't even have to work tomorrow. Jason Aaron made a foul.
I did not see this. So I'm learning about. I'm reacting right now.
All right, so check this out. Here we go. We have a. Let's see. Oh, I thought I put the cover up, but so King Conan #1 comes out, and this character is introduced. Now, already out the gate, we're in problematic zone. We're in problematic zone, not because of what she's wearing, though that might be problematic for some, but it's definitely that's Sonya, that's Hyboria, this is what that is, right? So no one's if you don't like this, you're probably not buying King Conan anyway. But I think we can say that, over sexualizing indigenous people and stuff like that. Like, all right, now we're kind of getting icky, but it gets worse. It gets worse. Oh, wrong one. I am Princess Matuaka. And if you don't know who Princess Matuaka is, that is the real name of Pocahontas. A child sex slave of Joseph Smith, who was kidnapped and forced to be his wife, and has been the subject of lots and lots of lies,
romanticization,
and, romanticization of child rape, right? So when I read this, I was like, oh.
Did you already know that was the real name for that?
Yeah, because I saw it on the internet first. So then I read it and I was like, okay, that's not okay, right? And so I felt some kind of way because of how much I love Jason Aaron. If anybody asks me, I already know what I'm gonna do whenever I do that video. We're gonna put out a video where we think you should start if you don't read comic books. And mine is definitely going to be Jason Aaron's Thor. That is my absolute #1 of all time favorite run of any comic at all ever. Jason Aaron's Thor. And so this one was like, I'm like, fuck. Let me read his apology and then we can discuss.
Yeah, to Blurt's point, real quick, I didn't also I only because the articles were headlined with Pocahontas. That's the only reason I knew. The name, her real name, also didn't register.
Yeah, and I think that's most people, but the fact is that that's who she was, right? Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. Man-eater.
Can I read it? Can I read it out loud?
Sure. Yeah.
In King Conan #3, I made an ill-considered decision to give a character the Matuaka, a name most closely associated with the real-life Native American figure, Pocahontas. This new character is a supernatural 1,000-year-old princess of a cursed island within a world of pastiche and dark fantasy and was never intended to be based on anyone from history. I should have better understood the name's true meaning and resonance and recognized it wasn't appropriate to use it. I understand the outrage expressed by those who hold the true Matuaka's legacy dear, and for all of this and the distress it caused, I apologize. As part of that apology, I've already taken what I was paid for the issue and donated it to the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center. The character's name and appearance will be adjusted for the rest of the miniseries and in all digital and collected editions.
Yeah.
Good apology, I think.
I do think it's a good apology. I like the action at the end. I call bullshit on it not supposed to being who it was. I don't buy it. Like, so the name most closely associated, like it's the name, it's the only association. And this new character, you know, not to anybody who doesn't know the name, but once you look into the history of the name, okay, that's who that is, right? This new character, here's the part that I kind of like, and was never intended to be based on anyone from history. So let me take this down, and I'm going to show you guys some other pictures. There's one that I was going to put up, and I'm like, I think I have enough pictures. But just by reading that, I was like, that part was kind of like, yeah, I don't know. So she goes over here, and then it's clear right here. Oh, no. I think
do you think he already had the apology written before he did it, and he was like, "I'm going to do this thing just so I can try out this really awesome apology and see if I can like, I don't know."
So this indigenous person is a princess in this indigenous place. She's young, although of course they're not going to make her a child. And she kind of stands up for herself in one of these panels. I have it behind me somewhere. I just don't feel like getting it. But yeah, no, I can't find it. I don't know. I just find it that the child indigenous character that is the real life name of Pocahontas was never intended to be that. I'm like, okay.
Do you think it's possible? I don't know. Do you think it's possible that he heard the name Matuaka like years ago as reading up on Pocahontas, and then forgot the context, but still had the name somewhere in his brain? And when he was writing this, he was like, "Oh, I need like a name that sounds kind of like that. What do I have in my brain?" Oh yeah, Matuaka. Like, I don't believe. Like, do you think that's possible?
I don't buy that. But here I will try to be charitable though. I think that most people, when they think of Pocahontas, like in quickly, right? I know I do. You know, Disney, adult, Joseph Smith. Yes, I know the real story, but it quickly, right? And so if I'm doing a fictional character, I'm like, oh, cool. Like, you know, like Pocahontas, you know? And yeah, let me throw that in there. I would have rathered hear something along the lines of, this would have been, I'm not saying he's lying. I can't read his mind. I just find it unlikely. And what I would have been easier to digest was, I did not fully learn the full history behind Pocahontas. I know I've heard it before, but when I decided to design this character, I based it off a reference that I didn't know enough about. I'm embarrassed. I'm in this is that right to go like, all right, yeah, I think I think that's an honest mistake. But I'm not. Maybe he's my favorite writer, so. Maybe I'm giving him too much leeway, but I will say that even if I think he is not being completely honest on acting like this was an Elseworlds version of Pocahontas, a badass Aztec indigenous person, Aztec type, you know, with those temples in the back. I think the apology towards the end was really good, and I really liked
donating the funds was good.
The money, yeah, he's like not going to profit off it and push it to Indigenous Women's Fund.
Here's the other thing, and I agree with you. I don't think Jason Aaron was doing it maliciously. The problem that it highlights for me is that Marvel, in their editorial or their creative team, doesn't have anyone that is looking at stuff like this. Like, look, Marvel was acquired by Disney, so they should integrate into the machine of like it's not like comics just happen. Like, it's not like this live stream where, oh damn, I said something stupid, right, and then the heat of the moment or whatever,
right.
It's a process.
There was a vetting process.
Like, you write a script, somebody draws it, it goes to editorial. Like, there's
someone stared at this 100 times.
Yep. Exactly. So the fact that no one through that process caught it because either they don't have the background or they don't have a person that actually looks at stuff like that. And unfortunately, it leads to, you know, like the creators look bad because they had an idea and it wasn't a good idea and nobody told them like, hey, this isn't a good idea. and it all kind of leads up to Sobolski because I mean we know the history with him, right? Like using an alias and stuff like, and yeah, I don't know. It feels like
he
on a
pretended to
personal
be an
note,
Asian person,
right? And on a personal note, I think that I don't think Jason Aaron or even any creators that stuff like this happens to, I don't think they're doing it maliciously for the most part.
Sure.
But the fact that there's not the mechanisms in place of these I mean they're giant corporations to preemptively prevent stuff like this from happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the issue that it really highlights. I'm glad Jason Aaron is doing amends to for this, but I would also like to see a response from Marvel. Because it wasn't just Jason Aaron doing something.
That's right.
Jewelry made it through. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
100%. This is the panel I was talking about. Right?
They're taking a cursory glance and being like, "Well, nobody said the N-word, so I guess this is fine."
Yeah, 100%. This is the panel I was talking about that references her innocence. Which doesn't explicitly say she's young, but typically is a I don't know, a nod to youth typically, and then her standing up to herself from the colonizers, and I don't know. I think the allusion to Pocahontas is I don't know. I don't buy that he didn't do it. I believe he didn't do it maliciously. It's just a very common thing to see people go, no, you must understand that's not what I was going for, but I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, and I'm like, well. Just stop. Yeah. You knew that was supposed to be Pocahontas, and it's your badass Elseworld version of her. Okay, that's great. But
so, and I could be being way too charitable just because I also really like Jason Aaron and his other stuff. Like, I know he's not. You never know, but like I suspect that he has like I guess more progressive positions on things than conservative positions on things. But
I don't know.
I've never heard him talk. I just read his work, and like he brought Jane. He's Jane Thor guy,
right.
But there was the possibility that I brought up, which I don't think anybody thinks that's what happened. That he just kind of like had this name in his head. I think the other thing is that maybe he thought it was a common enough name where no one would like immediately like I mean let's say Pocahontas was also known let's say Pocahontas's other name was like Becky, you know what I mean, like
the super common native names
like
you just hear all the time. What's another one?
I don't know. Back in the times of Pocahontas, were there multiple people with that name, or was it just?
No, I'm just saying.
Was she the only one with that name? You know what I mean?
What's another Native American name? Like you would. It's just like no. Google it. Like just Google. It's one. He's either stupid or lazy, or both.
Right.
Yeah. And there's in a literary sense,
I put more effort than he did into making a D&D campaign when I pick my names.
Right.
Like. Fucking Google it, Jason Aaron. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but like, the best ally still fucks up. Right. And like, this is a really typical white dude blunder. Like, I've had the earnest white dudes try to explain to me how they want to write this story where a woman gets raped and how it'll be empowering. And I'm like, just fucking stop. And like, this is that. It's a dude who had no idea what he was doing, trying to do something that he thought was a good idea. And he got told like, "Wow, you are dumb," because he was being really dumb.
Yeah, I did to piggyback on what Danny was talking about too, as far as what Disney should be doing. This is something that highlights a very particular problem within like editorial processes, and its lack of representation. And while the anti-SJW types will definitely like roll their eyes about and stuff, but it's like again, it kind of goes back to like, why is Canon important? Like, well, what's the purpose of it? Representation is not just so, hey, brown people want paychecks too. That's not. It's about to understand how to add a story from a perspective you don't have. If one indigenous person was in the staff, somebody would have been like, that's bad.
If you don't have someone in your staff, you can hire out for that. Like there are consultants, and like, I'm in a Facebook group called Ask One Jew. That's just about like clearly no one in like editorial or beta testing bothered to ask. And like, yeah, I feel like this was like ask a native, like just go into, hey, is anyone native? I just want to ask you about this.
That's right. That's right.
I do wish that it doesn't happen very often, but like, stop making our historical figures that struggled into your Easter eggs and your books and your content, right? But yeah, that's the other thing. You're right. One phone call. If
Dude, fire off an email to a cultural center.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Ideally, the sensitivity reader or whoever they have on staff, even if they're not native, has the common sense to be like, "Ooh, let me reach out to." Like, they should have a network of people that they reach out to under these circumstances.
Yeah, especially if that's their job. Like, say you pick me up on there, I'm not going to know every culture, but maybe somebody writes a book and then there's like a Jewish word. He calls them a Jewish name, and I'm like,
just Google it.
I'm gonna Google this. I hope that's not a slur or something, you know.
That's any job. Without getting too much into my job, like there are things about my job where I'm not expected to have an encyclopedic knowledge of all those things, but I'm expected to find the answer and not make one up. You know what I mean? And like,
it's like the art in the
special agent. If anybody didn't know, that's what it's
like the X-Men Gold book that came out a few years ago. That that there was something on the shirt and they're like, what is that on the shirt? Like nobody took the time to look at.
What is it? I'm sorry.
The X-Men Gold. I think it had an anti-Semitic slur in a different language in the shirt.
Oh, wow. It's weird how those keep getting through.
Yeah, like somebody look at it. Like if you see something a little weird, like what is this? Just ask the question. Raise the concern. I understand there's a time crunch for these things, but like if I didn't ask questions on my job, I would probably not have it still.
That's right.
Right?
No, like that's exactly right. Like what Judah was talking about.
If you have a big platform or like a great amount of power, you should have like an equal amount of responsibility with it.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but I knew where you were going. It's like
it feels like Marvel should know that.
Right, yeah. I think I read that in like a Daredevil or something.
Some book or something.
Yeah. I saw it in a movie.
Books, movie is where I saw it.
That's right.
May said it. All right. So I think we're all in agreement. So I'm not gonna stop buying his books, but hey, do better.
Dude, people are allowed to fuck up. Like it's what you do moving forward. If this keeps happening, if like Jason Aaron keeps being like weird, aggressive or passive aggressive,
well, let me introduce an Asian character.
If Marvel keeps doing it, like I said with the jury and all that stuff. Like Marvel, get on your shit. You need to fucking hire some people.
Yeah.
All being said, I do think that donating the proceeds to the Indigenous Women's Shelter or something.
Yeah, I appreciate an apology. Here's what I'm going to do about it.
That's right.
An apology with money is better than apology with no money. So definitely the way
action.
To go.
Take a step.
I give him a C+, B-, because I don't believe the first part, but the last part was powerful and all right, at least there's some action there. All right.
I understand anyone that still feels like that's not enough. I completely get that too. Like anybody that's like, oh, this is bullshit or whatever. You know, it is what it is, and you know. So
everybody's got their limit,
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm also happy that it was one tweet and not a whole tweet thread. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's like cringe when someone.
It would have been if you didn't put it in picture form.
Sometimes
when it's the longest apology ever.
Yeah.
Like I appreciated how much detail Ellie Kemper went into when she addressed like when it came to like that she was involved with like a derivative of the KKK or whatever. She really like was like, here's some photo evidence and like I appreciated that because it was a really complicated question.
If it's complicated, sure, but if it's something simple, I appreciate like this is what I did, this is what I was wrong. I won't do it again, and here's what I'm going to do.
In my experience,
into like 3 sentences. You know what I mean?
The longer the apology, the more bullshit it's filled with.
I just don't need like the groveling in an apology. It's like too much. You know?
Yeah.
And it's self-serving usually.
Okay. So for Batman,
looks cool, man.
Yeah,
looks fucking cool. I'm gonna see it this weekend.
Here's the deal: is I did want to have a discussion. And I'll just throw it out there. If you guys want to talk about it, if you guys have the energy, We're obviously not going to have a lot to say about the movie itself. What we can do is talk about what direction we think the movie's going to go in. I have heard some criticisms about it being too dark, and I also wanted to see if anybody had an opinion with regard to like the saturation of DC and Batman in general. Yeah, I mean, I know there are fans though, like Danny. Like, all joking aside, you're a huge fan.
Yeah.
But do you think there's an oversaturation where the movies that we're getting and all that?
I've gone on record, I think, of saying I would watch one Batman movie a year. I don't care.
But it's not even like connected. You would different stories, different world,
doesn't matter.
Different canon, different actors. You're fine.
You want to
give me
Batman
that much.
I don't really understand the question.
Batfleck, then do a Michael Keaton movie too. Fuck it.
The question is, do you think there's an oversaturation or saturation?
But I need more specifics to be able to answer that, because what qualify like there's a zero saturation if you don't watch any Batman movies or read any Batman comics. You know what I mean?
Batman is published or given attention to the detriment of other characters.
I don't think it's to the detriment of other characters. I mean, there's plenty of shit to read that's not Batman. There's most shit to read that's not Batman out there. So it's not like people can't read anything that's not Batman. There's tons of it. So I don't know.
In DC,
you could go within DC
specifically. Yeah.
There's a lot of non-Batman DC. There is a lot of Batman, but you could read DC every month and not read about Bruce Wayne. Like,
I do it every week.
So to me, there can't be an oversaturation if you have the option of never being exposed to it. So like, they could make 3 Batman movies a year, and you could not watch any of them. You know,
being like, you don't have to buy it doesn't mean that other characters aren't suffering, because there's only a budget for X amount of comics, and when 50% of them are Batman, I'll be actually more realistic. 40% of them are Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, other characters are not getting attention.
Well, I mean, what does that mean though? Does it mean that the shitloads of money they make off of Batman, they don't reinvest in DC? Or, I mean, you could look at it both ways. Batman, you could look at it as the amount of share Batman has in DC is what's keeping DC there, allowing all these other characters that we get to read. Or you could look at it like, they're taking money from all the other characters and putting it into Batman. So I don't know. It depends on how it works.
It's a difficult balance, because I think Batman, to me, the way that he should really be used is to open other doors for other characters. Like this first arc of the Monkey Prince looks like it's going to be very focused with Batman, but that's just because it's an introduction to a completely new character that has no mythology in DC. So what better way to bring in somebody that would never pick up that book?
It's also
maybe
showing
put Batman in it, right?
Like, Batman gives people PTSD.
Yeah.
If DC stopped making any Batman, would DC still make? I mean, do you think that would lead to more other comics, or would DC just go away?
That's one of those arguments that's like not a real argument, because it wouldn't be no Batman. It might be just one or two less.
I would say, and I'm not gonna get on any kind of like political soapbox or anything. It just reminds me of like the whole like capitalism versus socialism thing. And one of the memes is the fact that like capitalism promotes innovation, right? When really what capitalism does is you have a sure thing, and you're not going to come off that because the profit margins matter the most, right? And so what you're saying about DC, I think the difference between Marvel and DC is Marvel seems over time. I haven't done any like economic research on it or anything, but just from the outside, that Marvel is more willing to take investment risks on characters and then see where they go from there. Where DC is like, they could do it. We don't know what would happen if they tried, but it seems like they don't. They're like, yep, this makes us money, and so we're going to keep putting it out, which happens, and it's going to keep making them money.
It's just that Marvel's an ensemble show, like going back to like musical theater. It's an ensemble piece. It's always been a bunch of important characters, and DC, there's a lot of great DC characters. There's Booster Gold and Blue Beetle and all these awesome characters, but when people think of DC, it's always been Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and maybe the Flash and Green Lantern. But like it's always been a few characters being in the front of DC. Marvel, really it's fucking hundreds of characters that people love. And I think that's just kind of the character of the company. But
when I think of oversaturation, I think I mean it even more so in the sense of the movies. Like if you go all the way back from, starting with Tim Burton to today, how many DC movies are Batman or Batman adjacent? And it's like, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm not trying to be like, this movie sucks. I got the tickets as soon as they're on sale. I want to go read it. I want to go watch it tomorrow. But I was saying it on Dane's Twitter, and I kind of felt bad because I didn't want to be, I was being negative, and I'm like, let me stop. But it was like I'm just not excited about it. Like I've been watching Batman after Batman after Batman, and I would be this way for the MCU too. Also, if it was just Avengers and Spider-Man back and forth, that another fucking Spider-Man, And so I was just wondering, the real question is this. The real question is anybody not as excited for tomorrow due to all the Batman movie content and wish DC would give something else to us? Maybe not, especially since we just came off of Peacemaker and stuff. So I don't know. I just was wondering if you guys felt the same way.
There's like a small percentage that definitely,
yeah.
I'm a Green Lantern fan, so yes, of course, I'm like bitter
How
that
badass.
Batman has like
what a fucking epic that would be. You can throw a whole trilogy like in Darkest Night. Like what a badass movie that would be.
That would be badass, and they should.
But we'll get another Batman, and we'll get another Batman
HBO show. So like,
I never get mad at stuff I don't like over stuff that I do. Like I'll never get mad at stuff I don't like existing. Like, and that I apply that to everything. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like. I'm happy it exists. I don't really like Squirrel Girl that much. It's not really meant for me, and that's okay to not like it because I'm glad it's there for someone else. So when there's an oversaturation of something, like to me, it's like I can walk into the store and completely avoid it and find things that I like. So it's never going to really upset me that much.
I will say the one issue I do have with, and it's not just Batman, it's like with these, as much as I love these blockbusters, like when I'm trying to find another movie in the theater, I had to dig through like the 10 Spider-Man showings.
Yep.
Right? Like and unfortunately we're at this place where like,
dude,
if your movie's not gonna be a blockbuster or like this like super indie darling, there's no more of that middle of the road movie. Like those are
like
just
normal ass movies like Independence Day. Yeah.
Right.
Can I tell you how hard I miss living next to an Alamo? Because like they went out of their way to have like a broad
hot dogs
of movies.
Oh,
that too. Natural casing. But yeah, no, like
like especially in the winter, like especially look, we're already at a place where there's not as many screenings because pandemic and COVID and all that.
I'm streaming.
And then Spider-Man is in like all the theaters for months. So
that's fair. All right. I think we are at the end of our show, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs. That is our show.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming. It was awesome to bring the gang back together. Sad that Ree's Mike wasn't cooperating, but you could also catch Ree Monday nights on Actual Fandom. Don't forget to give a thought to what's happening in Ukraine. Do a little bit of Googling. There's been a lot of links, and matter of fact, we'll probably put it in the description here, just as an aside, for some humanitarian efforts that you can donate to try to help that out. I know that there's a lot of from the west going east into Kyiv, out of through some of the western borders. Getting food and medicine in there is important, and they need your help. So
just with that, remember to do what you can, because there's a lot of stuff that we can't really do anything about it. So don't focus on that. Just do what you can, and don't feel guilty for like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a stream about some dumb nonsense for 2 hours.
Dude, if all you can do is hope that Putin dies, that's enough.
Yeah.
Keep it in the conversation. Like keep it in the conversation. Don't let it be just a trending thing that disappears, because in 2 weeks when nobody's talking about it, missiles are still going to be striking like hospitals
right.
and schools in Kiev.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Like most war torn and oppressed people, their oppression and their suffering will last much longer than the news cycle and our tweets.
Yeah.
So for sure. Yeah, that's it. I love you guys. Next Issue Podcast.
Heyo.
Check them out.
Yeah, go check it out. I don't know what we're doing Sunday. It depends on how many of us can watch the Batman before then.
Nice.
That's right.
Is Pride or Die coming back? What's going on with that?
To be determined.
To be determined. Okay.
Let's have an earnest conversation about Club Valiant on Discord in the near future.
I just unboxed my TBR today for comics, and all my Valiant is ready to go.
Ready to go. All right, let's talk about it, and let's bring Sandman back too, because we're so close. We could finish the whole. We're so close.
It's the year of Valiant, right? 2022. That's what they've been telling me. So
yeah. They are. Valiant. I'm just gonna get on a small, quick soapbox. Valiant Publishing is doing.
You're not allowed to talk about their NFTs.
I'm not. Valiant Publishing is doing great things, but DMG and Valiant Corporate is shitting on the fans. So and the creators, shitting on the fans, the creators, and the world. Really,
I think we should.
They're trash.
I think we should do a show about it.
We should do a show about it, but I can't stress this enough. I know the people. We all know the people working there right now, and they're good ass creative people that just want to tell awesome stories.
Yeah. It's the corporate suits that are fucking pushing NFTs and all that shit. So, anyways, we're out of here. You have a good night. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
What's up, friendly neighborhood nerds? If you want to hear interviews from industry pros, get first looks, and have access to endless comic content, wake up. Please wake up. You're in a coma. Your mother misses you.